So what we do, especially in the casting room, is about as human as you can get. And one of the big things is how vulnerable it is. And I know this is in the back of every actor's head in some way, shape, or form. And this particular question is worded this way, and I think it'd be for me, it's going to be really fun and important for me to hear what Erica has to say about this. So here's the question, Erica.
Okay.
How do I repair my reputation with a casting director after botching an audition with her or him? So keywords here for me are how do I repair a reputation, and finally botching. So what do you say? How does an actor
Got
go,
it.
especially
That's
when I'm
interesting.
botching my audition?
Well, so yeah, let's take botching,
Mm.
because I don't think there's any way you can really botch the audition itself, as there is never a right and wrong way to interpret a character. I think if you've done prep work and whatnot, or if you're just underprepared, that's not botching it so much. I think the thing you can botch that is lasting is your professionalism in the room. I think that at least in my years of casting, I don't remember anyone having a terrible audition and then not wanting him to bring them in again. I remember people behaving very badly and absolutely not wanting to bring them in
That's
again.
good to hear. Good to hear.
So in repairing bad behavior is hard, and yet it is doable. And I think it takes time. It takes an awareness. And the thing that repairs it for me personally is an amazing audition. An amazing professional audition that essentially proves me wrong that this unprofessionalism that I witnessed has been moved on from, learned from, and no longer exists.
Right. And it comes down to this, which is sensitivity in the room. If we are
Mhm.
going to be professional actors, it really is picking up the vibes in this very rarefied, adrenalized situation. It might come in, my personality, hey, and I'm not really aware of the fact that you're backing away from me, then I'm not being sensitive in the room.
Right.
And for me, especially when you have a casting director like Erica who does everything she can to make an actor do his or her best work, it's listening, right? To be able to listen. So if a casting director is telling you, go smaller, be more real, or words trying to hunt. You say this, Erica says this, I think it's so wonderful when she says this, I try as many languages, I think is the word,
yes.
as many languages as I possibly can to get an actor to better work. And I've seen her, I've witnessed that myself. What kind of language, she keeps hunting for that. And
Because if I'm making an adjustment or I'm directing in some way, I come at it from this point of view. If they don't get it, I come at it from this point of view, and I use as many languages or tricks or tools or whatnot. And if every single one of them produces the exact same result, I get very frustrated in that I am unable, but therefore, in my opinion, my director will be unable to affect this performer's interpretation.
Right.
You know?
And I've been in situations where I've been trying to do it and I know I still haven't done it. And that might be a form of botching. But if I can go out and then it's my job to say, okay, take a deep breath. And my practice as an actor then is to try to find a way, either with an actor coach or by myself with a friend, to improve. So that the next time, if I have a good opportunity to be in front of that casting director, they see that.
Yes.
And I think that's really, that growth is something that I think a casting director is looking for.
Yes.
In a lot of ways, wouldn't you say?
I think absolutely. I mean, I've had people that, are overzealous, maybe cross the line in a professional, friendly, but so desperate for work, or have either an expectation or what's the word when someone is absolutely expecting something to happen? It starts with an E. Shoot.
Not sure
I'll think of it in a minute. That's okay. Anyway, the what?
Entitled.
Yes, entitled. Thank you. That was Megan. Entitled. I feel like that's my big thing, and I've worked in so many different casting offices throughout my career too. I feel like actor entitlement is probably the number one way to botch a professional relationship.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
And
hard to repair.
And very hard to repair. Very hard to repair. And until someone gets a true dose of humility and shows that humble, and I'm not talking humble in terms of, whoa, you're the casting director, because that's all BS and we pick that up in a second. It's humanity. Like, we're human too, and we're here to play, and we want to work. And a lot of it, and I've had a lot of actors, it's very rare that I actually get frustrated with actors, to be honest, but occasionally I do, and usually all of those relationships have been repaired because that actor has either gone to school, become more confident, has done harder work, and at the end of the day, it's about the better performance and the more solid professional person that one is. And you can always grow, always. I can grow as a casting director, I can grow as a producer, I can grow constantly as a human being every day, and I hope I continue to take classes and learn from other people. So I think that's my own hang up, is if someone thinks that, well, they've got it and they're done learning, I have no interest in collaborating with someone with that mindset.
Irreparable, perhaps. But a lot of stuff can be repaired, if you want to use that word.
Yes.
If there's growth, if there's an expectation of change.
Exactly.
If there's somebody who's willing to understand the humanness of what's going on there too.
In honesty, I've received a phone call, I've received letters, just, is there any way I can, I feel like I did this badly, and 99.9% of the time I'm like, well, you did what badly? Like, I have no way, it's not on my radar, move on, So.
Yeah, we have a tendency, I think, as actors to see every little, tiny little thing we do wrong, and it's not necessarily what a casting director is looking for. Oh my God, I didn't say that word right. Well, yeah, it would be nice if you were word perfect. That might make you even more competitive. But if you're really playing the character well and are really in the situation, I think that's going to play a lot better and be more memorable.
Right, and I think the third word that you pointed out was reputation.
Yeah.
And I do think that there is, among small cultures of film actors in small cities as well as larger cities, there is a reputation of someone always being, I joke sometimes, I'm like, oh, that's a one and done, meaning, they can come in, they literally get it on their first try and they're out of the room. And there are people that I can count on, even, regardless if they're principal actors, if they're background actors, I'm like, they will absolutely be here, they will deliver. I know they'll deliver. That's another kind of keyword that I always say. And so the reputation is based on consistency, quality work, quality preparation, and professionalism. And that reputation, if part of that reputation you feel is altered, is that a theme? Is that with many different offices and whatnot? And then there may be some real hard, good, solid work that needs to be done and whatnot. And I think all of us, and I'm including myself, all film artists grow in these weird spurts, and then you feel like you're an expert for 1 second, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh boy, I don't know anything, and then you're back to kind of square one. So it's like 3 steps, 1 step back, 3 steps, 1 step back, or whatnot. But I think that's natural, and I'm incredibly forgiving, and I think every casting director I know and have worked for in the past and worked with, incredibly forgiving. They know we're all on a train, we're all always changing and whatnot. So I think it's never irreparable. I think that one just has to be open to the fluidity of time that's necessary.
Excellent, thank you.
You're welcome.